I added a tank to State of Decay 2 and put it up against juggernauts, blood ferals, plague hearts, hostiles, and so much more. And don't forget to like the video and subscribe if you want to see more shit like this. You'll need 2 mods to get this working, THC Tank Mod and THC Development Singularity in order to spawn it, both of which are linked in the description. The Singularity mod replaces the soldering station and can be added to any facility. I added mine to my storage. A very pretty firework, am I right? The Singularity Facility mod has this cool swirly thing, and when you open it up you get the option to spawn in some vehicles, but I've only got the tank mod installed. In order to spawn it, you'll need power, 10 scraps of circuitry, 2 heavy vehicle kits, 500 scraps, 2 fuel resources, 3 ammo resources, 1 second of time, and a partridge in a fucking Christmas tree. Basically, it's very expensive. As you'd expect, it's a fucking tank. I don't know how good the tank is, I don't know how many hits it could take, but if it's dead, we're kind of screwed. I'm assuming I can repair it. Let's find out. Okay, I don't know what I was expecting there, but yeah, we now have a tank in our base. Thankfully, I can still get in it, although I do almost nuke my entire community. Then I use the stuck radio command to get me out of this tent. Yes, look at that. This actually, fair play, guys. This looks fucking insane. Look at this. That is... Oh god, okay, right, yeah, so I'm using controller and right trigger is mapped to shoot. It causes a bit of confusion to say the least, especially when I reverse myself into a wall. Thankfully, the mod creator was in my stream chat and told me to remap the accelerator. So with my tank finally moving in a forward direction, the very first thing I've got to do is turn off the HUD and pause for a thumbnail. Life of a YouTuber, am I right? But fair play to the team that made this. It looks fucking incredible. I decided to use my tank for good and help a survivor in need. But on the way I noticed a little something on the minimap. There is a juggernaut down there. Would you like to see me take on a juggernaut, chat? I suppose that would make perfect sense. Unfortunately, I missed the juggernaut, but that screamer stood no chance. Well, the screamer didn't stand a chance. Juggernaut was like, actually, yeah, he's in a tank. I don't think so, son. But he shall not be escaping my wrath today. Good night, sweet prince. Okay, yep, there we go. He's dead. Is that auto fire? No, okay. So I make my way to the stranger that needs my help, and the first thing I notice is this is one speedy tank. So I get to the home of the red talon agent, and seeing as there's plenty of zombies around, I do what I gotta do in order to make the area safe. But that unfortunately turns out to be a bad thing for the red talon agent. Don't blame me, he was definitely dead when I got here, alright? A triple pack of crackheads then come at me, but why am I dicking about trying to take him out skillfully? I've got a bloody tank for fuck's sake. What can I say, they really don't stand a chance. In fact, nobody stands a chance, let's be honest. And once I can doubly confirm that everything dead around me is now dead for a second time and, well, probably slightly singed, I go back inside to search the corpse of that fallen red talon agent. Ignore the singe marks, those were definitely here when I got here. I then collect this shit, completing the mission. Then next up on my tank's hit list, I really want to test on a plague heart. And thankfully there's one spawn just around the corner. But of course there is, this is lethal zone at the end of the day. I scope out the house to find out which window it's best to shoot it from, but given its location on the other side of the building, I've got to shoot it through the window and through a door frame. So I'm not entirely sure exactly how many of these shots are hitting the plague heart. Just unload on it. Typically a blood feral decides he wants to have a go, but I'm in a fucking tank, mate. It's like swatting a diabetic flyaway. I then go fucking mental without knowing if I was actually hitting it. But in the apocalypse, there's no such thing as overkill. I'm just absolutely decimating it. Oh no, it's done. It is done. Also, I've stopped pressing the trigger now, and it doesn't want to stop. Let's loot it, because we might as well. I don't know. I'm assuming I might have been missing due to like where the heart was located, because surely it shouldn't have taken that long. I managed to grab some decent swag and take it back to base to unload. But you might have noticed my tank has taken on a little bit of damage, and it's currently smoking. But that's alright, because I can fix it up with regular toolkits. But for now, I'm testing it to see exactly how much of a punishment it can take. That feral can take an hit. Anyway, I get back and load my shit, then hit the road to take on more plague hearts. And rather predictably on my way, I've got to decimate everything I can with the tank. And the second plague heart we come across is actually right next door to the first. I again circle it to find the ideal window, but I've got to jump out when a walker threatens to pull me out. And as you can see, a crackhead has decided he wants to have a go. And I probably let the ego get to me and decide to take the bastard on toe to toe. In a metaphorical stance, that is. It would be more accurately described as a high caliber round to the armoured skull. So I again try getting back into the tank, but the plague zombies have other ideas. Oh god damn it! Leave me alone! But once they are finally dealt with, I can position the tank in a way where the gun is like 3.5mm away from the plague heart. I'm sorry, I don't know what that equates to in freedom units, but it's like proper fucking close, alright? I unload an unholy amount of munitions into this beast. I know you can't really see much, and I think the tank is on fire right now, but I'm holding out. We're riding this until the very end, chat. If it burns, it burns. If it kills me, it kills me. Alright, the plague heart is dead. And I'll be honest, I don't have a clue how to explain the following events. I'm gonna need an RIP for Dea in the comment section. Oh shit! She was a gunslinging, swordplay badass. Oh my god. Alright, well that might have been a massive L, but as long as we learn from our defeats, that's what counts. There are 2 toolkits in the back of the tank, all I've got to do is take a gentle jog to get there. And rather predictably, I'm playing as a red Talon agent, so I get to show off some of my kick-ass fighting skills en route. Gotta love a single button press execution. I get back to the tank and Dea's crumpled body is still underneath it. I suppose that's the advantage when you lose one of your best characters under a 70-ton tank. They can't just bugger off somewhere. With the tank up and running again and Dea's loot safely deposited into the supply locker, we crack on, with making sure my community is not short of resources. I turn this fruit stand into a food outpost, this petrol station into a fuel outpost, and finally this little doctor's surgery into a medical outpost. Please ignore the singe marks, my initial instinct is just to set everything on fire. I also upgrade each of my new outposts to level 2. And now with our community losing significantly less resources every day, we can crack on with a mission. But before we do that, I come across another juggernaut in the field. So this is for science now, an official, how many hits with a tank does it take to kill the jug? I slipped on the trigger, okay? I'm pretty sure it was 3. With my science degree signed, sealed and lost in the post, we make our way over to the zombie veterans. I chat to their leader, G-Wiz, and he's like, "Hiya, bud, how's it going? Any chance you can give us a couple of medikits and we'll help you out when it comes to battling the blood plague?" And I'm like, "Oh, but I don't need your help, I got a bloody tank like." And weirdly, they just abandon me and piss off into the night. You see, I thought they'd just become an enclave and I could threaten them. Then you can probably figure out what my next step would have been. But rather surprisingly, this ended up working out for the best, as I come upon them fleeing their former home and utterly decimate them. Well, they're not hostile, but they might be taking hits, I don't know. It looks like it's time for another science experiment with J. Talbot. I'm surprised the game doesn't crash, to be honest. Can you commit first degree against some wandering strangers? Long story short, yes. Yes, you can. Oh wait, are they dead? Oh, they are dead! Although, I'll be honest, I was only able to find one of their corpses. But if we're being honest, that probably shouldn't have been a surprise. That was the most elaborate and expensive cremation I've ever witnessed. Still wanting to put the tank up against some hostiles, I take on another mission, this time to help a stranded alcoholic. I go with the whole scorched earth policy on arrival, but it turns out Jewel is hiding in a tank-proof shed. Well, don't worry, Jewel, I know exactly how to fix that, love. Stay there, I got you, I got you, I got you, trust me. By opening the door and shelling the entrance. Weirdly enough, the zombies inside somehow survived, but they ain't surviving my fragmentation grenade. Our friends and I found a stash of alcohol last night and I got drunk and woke up here alone. Danger saver for a pub call, let's get you home and sobered up. So let's take Jewel home back to her peeps. I get into the driver's seat of the tank while Jewel phases through its arse cheek. And on my way, I've obviously got to send it off the cliff top, but let's be honest, at the end of the day, it is a tank. It's not exactly designed to stay in the air for a prolonged period of time. So we get to the rum runner's hideout, and I let them know I'd be happy to help them build a still. Moving on, I think we've spent enough time in the starter base, let's crack on with moving to something that's a little bit roomier. Although on the way I come across a nice big horde and, well, it's only asking to be decimated. What can I say, the end of the world don't mean shit when you got a goddamn tank. If you're familiar with Providence Ridge, then you can probably work out which base I'm going for. But before I can claim it, there's a plague heart I've got to take down. And apparently a couple of crackheads. Get the feral, get the feral, get the feral. From here I just open fire through the now open window of Dewey's hardware until the plague heart falls. However, it seems the western building supply is still claimed by a plague heart. So I climb the northwest water tower situated behind it and start scoping shit out. I find the now awake plague heart, but seeing as the tank is smoking and I'm trying to prove that I'm not some basic pillow princess, I decide to take it on foot. Although it's probably fair to say I'm not best equipped for this, seeing as I'm rocking a bladed dagger thing. So we're gonna go hot as shit and just fully melt the fucker. I start by silently clearing out the building and making sure all the doors are sealed shut. You might not think those extra few seconds will mean much, but just ask your missus. Those few seconds could mean the difference, if you know what I mean. I managed to get the first phase with a couple of mollies and automatic fire before the crowds catch up to me, then it's time to go for a little jog. Onto the roof of a nearby car, seeing as there's now a crackhead in our vicinity. That is until I glitch out and accidentally throw myself into trouble.
Shit, Screamer!
Oh yeah, Screamer's what you want to be worried about right now, pal. I managed to down the feral, but there are still plenty of other knobheads between me and victory, which is why I always close doors when I enter buildings. Gotta slow the flow if you know what I mean. I put another molly and my remaining ammo into the play cart and it gets its second phase off. The knobheads then start to surround me, but luckily I'm quick as fuck, and I even managed to get another molly off as I make my exit. But now we have a small ammo situation. My primary weapon is completely depleted, and after taking taking down that screamer, I have 20 sidearm ammo to both keep me alive and get the job done. I use a molly to burn up my pursuers, then I rush back inside, get a molly off and 13 pistol shots. But the crowds have once again caught up to me and I need to run. And it looks like I'm gonna have to use up some of that precious sidearm ammo, seeing as another crackhead has decided to join the party. Well, that's 3 bullets down, but 1 massive headache taken care of. So now with 4 bullets remaining, I head back inside. I put 1 more molly and the final 4 bullets into it, but it's still not enough. So I just shank the bitch and watch it blow. I can then go for a little jog back to our new home, and after clearing out a knobhead or 3, I make it official. Seeing as there's 10 of us, the first thing I do is clear the failed Cleo drop, then rip down the 2 sheltered beds. You're not allowed to be comfortable in the apocalypse, sleep on the bloody floor, son. I can then add an infirmary and workshop, and while everyone is busy building, I better fix up the tank. You know, the whole reason you're watching this video. I've also luckily found some hostiles just around the corner from me, but wanting to wait for daytime, I decide to put that off for now. So I turn Dewey's hardware into a building outpost, then spend some time looting the area. But it's still dark by the time I finish, so it's time to put this tank under more testing. I find an abandoned car down the road with no fuel in, and it's obviously on its last legs. So I use it as my new plaything and put explosive round after explosive round into the dying puppy. But shocking twist, the puppy survives. You can probably tell by the current state of the road how long I've been doing this for, but it just refuses to die. Look, I can even get in it. It's out of fuel so I can't drive it, but I was in it. One thing I can say for certain is that car certainly wasn't built in Britain. So while we're still waiting for the sun to come up, let's take on some more player cards. And this time we're going to be as scientific as humanly possible. So I park up in the optimal position and absolutely go to town. This whole sequence takes about 40 seconds in real time, and I'd say we're firing about 2 or 3 shells a second. So after whipping out my calculator, that comes to roughly 120 shells to take down this bloody player card. Who'd have guessed a heavy shovel would have been more efficient? Here we go. Holy shit, that was mental. I'm sure we can all agree that was a proper scientific experiment. I shall be awaiting my Nobel Peace Prize for my favourite scientists, Adam Savage and Jamie Hyneman. While I'm in the area, I also take down another placard, and not a single zombie dared to get near me. What can I say, they obviously know exactly who the alpha is. Jumping forward to a bit of daylight, I unfortunately get a crash. Ah, shit! And when I spawn back in, the tank is unfortunately nowhere to be seen. So there's only one thing I can do, and that's call for another one. Oh, for fuck's sake. Well, that's not ideal, is it? Is that gonna explode? Take one fucking guess, dickhead. But it's alright, nothing major to worry about. I wait for the flames to die down, get the toolkits out, and then with the help of the radio stack command, I'm ready to kick more ass. Starting with that bloody hostile enclave. So I rock up to their home site, but they're cowering away in their shed. And no matter how many times I gently knock at their door, they simply refuse to come out and play. It looks like I need a different play. We're going in stealthy a second. Stealthy because they can't hear anything right now. I walk up to their door and swing it open, and before they can one-shot me like lethal hostiles usually do, I rush back to my tank, and with the door open I can finally get some free shots off. And judging from the influence I just gained, I'd say somebody just got one shot. Then even after watching one of his mates get blown apart, one of them still wants to have a go. Lucky for him, these chain link fences were crafted in Wakanda. Oh my god, they got obliterated. And their final mate doesn't last too much longer either. But that's not enough testing for my liking. I use the radio to find ourselves some more survivors. I then drive over there to welcome them to the neighbourhood. Nothing threatening about a 70-ton tank rocking up to your front door. Don't worry, you've got nothing to worry about. I go to have a chat with the leader Adrian, and I'm like, what's happening, but if you ever need anything, our radio is always on, just give us a shout like. Then in a fit of bipolar-like rage, tell him his haircut is proper shite like. They're obviously not best pleased about this, as hairdressing is their passion. So I rush back to my tank and wait for the countdown to hit 0. You're a brave man to come at me with a pistol. As soon as that countdown hits 0, I unleash an ungodly amount of explosives into the faces of these innocents. And fair play to them, they hold up so much better than the previous knobheads. But at the end of the day, I'm still in a pissing tank. Adios amigos, sleep well. Oh, feral! Oh, God, immediately killed him there. Cool. Then finally, to finish off, I promised live stream chat I'd attempt to decimate my entire community. Again, it doesn't do anything to the cars. So instead I go with the most special ops inspired drive-by ever posted to the internet. They're definitely not taking hits there. They are definitely not. Talk about speaking too soon, eh? Okay, yeah, he's taking it. He's taking it. We took some damage there. We continue our explosive drive-by, but the thing that takes the most damage is actually the tank. And on that surprising ending, we'll leave it there. If you want to check out the full 2-hour live stream, I'll leave it linked in the description. And if there's any other mods you want to see me try out, let me know in the comment section. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.